Hey there, everyone. I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show on News Talk 790 KFYO in Lubbock. You can listen to the show online at KFYO.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the KFYO YouTube channel so you can watch all the morning briefs and, of course, any other interviews that we put up throughout the week on KFYO and KFYO here on YouTube. We've got a lot to talk about on the show today, a very busy show, as we will be taking a look at many different races that we have here locally, but those of you who are watching this nationally and internationally and focusing on the 2016 election, of course, we will be talking about the 2016 election, the endorsement battle between Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. What will it mean at the end of the day in Iowa? Later on this week, I'll give my final predictions as to what I think will really happen in Iowa. But we'll continue to take a look at this ongoing developing narrative out of Iowa, the battle of endorsements. As yesterday, Donald Trump rolled out more endorsements. So did Ted Cruz. He had a few more endorsements out. They're both beating the hell out of each other on the campaign trail. Ted Cruz talking about whether or not Donald Trump can be trusted, whether Donald Trump is really a conservative. Big answer is no. Whether Donald Trump will actually betray Republican values out there. Question mark, maybe. Donald Trump out there calling Ted Cruz a really nasty guy and somebody who will not be able to work with Democrats. Now, here's the funny thing about this. Donald Trump yesterday, I believe he was on MSNBC on Morning Joe. He said that he has a great relationship with Harry Reid, a great relationship with Nancy Pelosi, a great relationship with Chuck Schumer, and that he'll be able to work out deals with the Democrats and that he can work with the Democrats. What's funny about this is that a lot of the folks and a lot of people who I know personally, who are very big conservatives, have railed against the establishment Republicans. They don't want, or at least in the past, they have not wanted a president to make a deal with the Democrats. They have wanted someone to stand up to the Democrats. They have wanted someone who will stand up to the establishment Republicans. That's not Donald Trump. Now, I do think that Donald Trump will be someone who says it's either my way or the highway. I don't know if I necessarily buy that he's going to be wheeling and dealing the entire time. But for him to use the rhetoric, for Donald Trump to come out and say, I can work with Democrats. Democrats and we're pretty good friends. I get along with Chuck Schumer, with Harry Reid. Folks, if Jeb Bush were to say this, he would be roasted. If Marco Rubio were to come out and say that he could absolutely work with Chuck Schumer and that he's best friends with Nancy Pelosi and they all kind of get along together, Republicans would flip out if Marco Rubio came out and said that. Marco Rubio has been blasted by the Tea Party and by conservatives because he tried to help out on immigration. He tried to help out, and then he came back and he said, okay, hey, look, I screwed up. Sorry about that. Yeah, we do need to enforce the border first. My bad. Please forgive me. And there are a lot of Republicans who refuse to forgive Marco Rubio for that one thing. For Donald Trump, those same Republicans are now saying, it's perfectly fine. You want to work with the Democrats? That's cool. At least you're angry about something. Okay, let's see here. Chuck Schumer, Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi. Donald Trump wants to build a luxurious wall on the border. Okay, if it happens with a luxurious door, if that happens, where Donald Trump wants to go along with his immigration policy, does anybody out there think the Democrats are going to do that? So is Donald Trump going to work a deal with the Democrats and maybe screw over the conservatives there? It's a big question mark. It's something that I think everyone has to think about. Do you want a Republican president who will work along with the Democrats, who has had a Democratic record in the past, at least statements in the past? Or do you want someone who's more on the conservative side? And I'm not just talking about Ted Cruz here, folks. We have a lot of other Republican candidates that are in the race. It's something that people have to think about. Again, for the Donald Trump supporters out there, don't hit the dislike button yet. I understand where you're coming from. I get that you're tired of the same BS politics in Washington, D.C. I'm with you. I get it. I understand that you're angry. I'm right there with you. I'm upset with how things have been going in Washington, D.C. The big question, I think, for Republicans, especially you folks in Iowa and also in New Hampshire, what you folks have to think about is, which candidate best aligns with your values. At the end of the day, take anger out of it, take the fun pep rallies out of it. Who best aligns with your values? That's the candidate you need to choose. Whether that's Donald Trump, whether it's Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, Chris Christie, Ben Carson, any of these folks, Carly Fiorina. Who best aligns with your values? And then second, who do you think has a shot of beating Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders? Well, that should be any of these folks. Donald Trump should be able to beat Hillary Clinton. I think he would if he were running against Hillary. So what you have to do is you have to pick the best candidate, person who aligns with your values, and then you go and you vote. So a lot of things to think about here. Again, do you trust Donald Trump? I made a comment on the show yesterday that Donald Trump is possibly like Michael Bloomberg in a way. I don't think he's going to come and get your guns like Bloomberg wants to do. I don't think he's going to ban big drinks like Michael Bloomberg wants to do. But when Michael Bloomberg was running for mayor of New York City the first time, he sort of ran as a Republican, still a big government Republican, but he sort of ran towards the Republican side. And how did he actually govern? He governed as a liberal. I talked about this on the show a little bit, and I had folks who emailed me saying they thought the exact same thing, that there's a possibility, at least, that Donald Trump campaigns as a Republican, but once he gets into the White House, once he sits in the Oval Office, he may start veering back towards his Democratic tendencies. Something to think about, at least. Let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know what you think below in the comment section. Tune in to the Chad HD Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11. Follow me on Twitter, Chad HD Radio, and don't forget, subscribe below. Just right down below, subscribe, KFYO, and have a great day. We'll catch you on the radio, 8:30 to 11, News Talk 790 KFYO in Lubbock, and online at KFYO.com. Have a great day, everyone.